There was a time when Britain's political system inspired countries all over the world, but recently it's been in a constant state of decline. The main parties are out of touch, and there is a chasm between the electorate and those who represent us. Here are 3 things we can do to strengthen our democracy. It's not rocket science. This is how we voted in 2019, and this is what Parliament looks like. Our current voting system, first past the post, helps the 2 main parties, but deprives the others of representation. We want to feel that our vote actually does something, but in the last general election, 22 million votes were cast either for the losing candidate or for a candidate that had already surpassed what they needed. That means that 70% of the votes were essentially wasted. What's more, YouGov found that 1 in 3 people voted tactically. That means that 1/3 of voters didn't vote for the candidate they actually wanted. Now, advocates of the current voting system will say it produces stable government. The only country in Europe that uses first past the post, other than the UK, is Belarus. Belarus! Not exactly a thriving democracy. The SDP is committed to bringing in proportional representation, just like it always has been since the founding of the party. That means that seats will be distributed according to votes cast. Crazy concept, I know. If you win 10% of the votes, you get 10% of the seats. We need to break up this 2-party system and introduce fresh ideas into our politics. But most of all, the makeup of the House of Commons must resemble what the British public have voted for. When most of Westminster has almost completely given up scrutinising legislation, the House of Lords actually does a pretty good job. It works well though, despite, not because of, the cronyism in its appointments. We've seen both main parties give peerages to their mega donors. Donating money to a political party should not qualify you to pass laws. The answer is not an elected body. This will just give it more power and increase the opportunity for stalemate, with legislation bouncing between the House of Commons and the House of Lords. Our solution is to abolish the current system of political honours. In its place, we will create an independent nominations commission, which will appoint peers for a maximum of 15 years. The selection criteria will include political balance, competence, and capacity to function in a revising upper chamber. The Union has become increasingly fragile as leaders neglect everything outside of the M25. It makes no sense at all for Scotland, Northern Ireland and Wales to have their own devolved powers, but for England not to. The SDP will create an English Parliament and will take bids to host it from cities in the North and in the Midlands. I'm obviously a little bit biased, but wherever it is, it will have powers no greater than those of the current Scottish Parliament. Westminster needs to focus on issues that affect the whole of the UK. There are many things we're going to need to do to improve our democracy. These are just 3 big ones we can do straight away to get us going in the right direction. If you want to help make these ideas a reality, come and join us. Let's make the land of the Magna Carta a beacon of democracy.